Hi YouTube, this is Elisa. My name is Elisa and I'm starting my first Flosstube video called Crafting in Colorado. I live in Colorado and my nickname is E because no one can pronounce my name and all my family calls me nickname E. Sorry, got much in here. This is my sidekick Cruz. He's always with me wherever I go around the house, and you might hear him howling throughout this video. So I thought I'd start this by doing the Know Your Needleworker challenge or tag. Where do I live? I live in Colorado, which is in the US. What do I do for a living? I do finances for an environmental consulting firm. We're global, and here's a little crazy hair. We're global environmental consulting firm. So, and I've been there a really, really long time, kind of getting burnt out on it. Do I have any children? I have one. She is grown. I was a single mom for many, many years. And so that's why I only have one. Do I have any pets? You just met him. Cruz Carlito, that's his name. That was his name when we got him. He's a rescue. Any other hobbies? This is my craft room / office. So I'm huge into paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, collaging, coloring, and then cross stitch. So back in the day I used to do crochet, but it caused me to have carpal tunnel, so I don't do that anymore. Left-handed, and this was before the days of YouTube, so I never learned how to knit or any of those. And I have dabbled in diamond painting as well. Favorite movie? Maybe Pride and Prejudice, the old one back in the day. I could watch that over and over again. TVs, books, I don't really have a favorite. You know, I kind of just watch what I like and that's it. Music, 80s girl. Tell from the 80s hair. Woo woo! 80s country, more pop, as my husband calls it, bubblegum music. So, and one word that describes me, I would say giving. I give to where I get burnt out. So, kind of at that point right now. So I give to where it then you're just tired and people can take advantage of it. So let's move on to happy things. I started stitching as a young girl. Both my mother and grandmother were huge into crafts, and we would go away a couple times a year for the weekend to a cabin or camping or whatever, and my mom and grandmother would always bring needlework or sewing or painting, toll painting, for those of you back in the day who did the 80s, 70s and 80s toll painting. And so I've always kind of had that desire to learn new crafts and whatnot, and I kind of lost that when I remarried about 20 years ago. I wanted to do everything for him. I wanted to give everything for him, and he's like, stop, I'm not going to be here, I'm going to be off working, you know, you do what you want to. So that kind of piqued my desire. I was invited to a craft retreat that I still go to annually when we don't have COVID, and I I got there, and my daughter and I ran to Michael's. We grabbed our one little bag of treats, and it was a scrapbook retreat. And we got there, and we were like, holy cow. These girls are crazy. They have scrapbooking suitcases. They have paper. They have all these tools. What's a crocodile? I can't even think of a bone folder. All these tools. And I was like, what in the world is this? And I just fell into it. And my crafting world exploded. And my husband now says, quit taking over my house with the crafts. So, but anyway, I had gone to Hobby Lobby a couple years back, and I've done needlepoint as well. And there was this little piece of, for the canvas for needlepoint. And it was on clearance for like $1. And I'm like, oh, for $1, I should start that up again, you know, that'd be simple. But it didn't have the kit, so it didn't have the floss or the tools or anything. So I was like, how do I start this without having a kit? So I got onto YouTube. This was, I think, 2016, and Flosstube. and there she went. So, yeah, and I love it. Stitching is my therapy. It's my primary craft now. I have a bag for when we travel. I used to travel quite a bit with my job pre-COVID. I always had a kit with me, or a pre-kit or something. When we go across the country to visit family in another state, I got something to work on. I cannot sit still and just drive down the highway or sit in an airplane, you know. I can't do that. It's funny because it drives my husband crazy. Can you just watch TV without doing anything? No, I can't. Just can't do it. In fact, even today, I had to take my parents to 3 different doctor's appointments. Guess what? First thing I packed up before I got dressed for the day? Kit. What am I going to stitch on them for today? So, anyway, I love Flosstube. I really have been wanting to start to get to know the ladies one-on-one. I've heard from several that I comment on their YouTube videos or Flosstube videos or on Facebook or whatever, and they don't see who I am. So this is me, all my glory. I actually got dressed today because, as I said, I was taking my father to dialysis at 6 a.m. this morning, so because my mother had surgery yesterday. So I'm like, okay, I'm dressed, we've got some makeup on, guess we're gonna do this today. So anyway, here to share with you my projects. I am part of the No New Starts 2021, and I did have to start a bunch of things before I could not start anything for 2021. So this is the most I've had in active projects, and I only have 12, and I'm only going to show you a few of them because some of them are not really even anything to show. But I'll show you my main focus for 2021, and I'm in that 21,000 stitches or something like that. I'm trying to follow in full coverage fanatics. I'm doing my piece on 10 stitch, so I have to reach 42,000. Not sure if I'm gonna get that because life kind of gets in the way. But anyway, this is my main focus piece for the year. It's Birds in Bloom by Amy Stewart, which is a Hade. And I started this in 20, I can't remember when I started it. Anyway, it's been 4 years, so whatever the math is there. And yes, I am an accountant. So this is my piece, and I reached 50% just this last Sunday. So there we go. I am a gritter. Oh, and here's something. See this big chunk? I was stitching along, flipped my piece over, and guess what? I stitched my Ada. And my husband teased me, says, "Oh, you're a real pro at that, aren't you? Kind of a rookie move, don't you think?" Yes, it was. It was a rookie move. So this is my focus piece for 2021. I will not finish it this year. I'm hoping maybe 2023 to finish it, because next year I will be starting all the things. So after that piece is my next oldest project. It's a dimensions kit, and before I found Flosstube and the whole Etsy and the internet stitching, I was like many of you, you're a kit girl. You run to Michael's, you run to Hobby Lobby, you find your kit. Hey, everything's all right there. So when I started coming back, I found this piece, and this my husband loves tigers and any kind of mountain lions, cats, that kind of thing. So I thought, I'm gonna stitch this for my husband because he would love it. And while he may love it, I hate this piece because stitching on black is a nightmare. Let me just say, stitching on black is a nightmare. And yeah, so I need to just take, like, every time on the, my plan was to take 1 day a week and to stitch on this, maybe 1 thread or 2 threads, and just can't get into it. Just don't feel it. So my next piece here that I started late last year in November is Mini Evergreen by Leonid Afimov, and this isn't a great picture here, but this is it. It's called Mini Evening. It's a Hade, and I believe I am 15% done on this piece. This is on 18 count Ada, 10 stitch, 3/1, and when I'm in the black and the darker blue, I'm doing 4/1. You girls who can do, or I shouldn't say you girls, you stitchers who can do these smaller counts, I wish I could. My eyesight is not that great, and I love the way it looks, but I just can't stitch it. So this is as good as it gets, and I started to say, I think, about gridding. I grid all my projects. I started one project with before the no new starts without gridding it, and I am screwing up right and left, and I'm like, and yes, this is pre-gridded Ada, but I like to see, or I like to count on top of where I've stitched, and my job is extremely stressful, and I don't want to think at the end of the evening when I'm stitching. I just want to stitch along. Oh, do I have to count over 3 squares? Boom, there's 3 squares. 3 of these squares, not 3 little squares. So that's that one. I think I'm 50% done here My next one is, I found this on Etsy, and it's called Kuruja by Sandra P. I think it's Kochi, and it's this bird. And I'm not sure if it's an owl or a bird, but I just like the colors. And that's another thing you'll find from me is colors, birds, flowers. You'd probably see a theme. If it's not a bird, it's flowers, or it's super bright and colorful. So that's just what makes me happy. And so this is my piece for Kuruja, and I shoot, I should have written this down. Maybe 15% done. 15% done on this one as well. So I've started to do extreme cross country, but then I was like, you know what? I want to see it filled in. So not a lot of confetti, but there is still some in there. So and this is also 18 count Ada. So there's that. This piece, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship on it, and it's by no means intended towards the ones who charted it. It's me. This is me, and I have been second guessing myself on this piece for several months now. And I did post a question on one of the cross stitch groups on when do you stop a piece? When do you stop a piece and you know you're done? You're gonna scratch it and just not continue on. I've come close, but this piece is here we go. Mini Evergreen by Tracy Butler. She is not my normal style, but I saw so many of these being stitched up and I thought she is really pretty. She just class act. And I love that time period of like the 1920s, 30s. If that's incorrect, I'm sorry. But I just think she's so cool, and to wear those beautiful hats back in the day. But my problem with this piece was the coloring, or the color on her face. And so when I was stitching this, and I was like here, you know, this woman is blonde. I kept thinking, this face is dark. You know, she's not an African American. You know, she's a lot lighter skin colored than this. And so I reached out to a couple flosstubers and some of my favorite flosstubers. I reached out to them and said, what do you think about this? You know, do you think I should continue? Do you think it's wrong? Can you check one of them has the chart. Can you check your colors? Did I get the wrong chart? You know, what's wrong with this? You know, no, it looks right. It looks fine. So, you know, I'm feeling better about it. And I've talked to my husband quite a bit about this project. And when I stitch in my living room, and I have it on my Q-snap on a Lowry stand, and I'll walk away and I'll come back and I'm like, you know, this isn't terrible. It's not too bad. But then when I get up close to it, I'm like, oh gosh, this is horrible. What is wrong with this? So I think I will continue on. I will continue with her face. And believe me, I have spent more time worrying about this piece and the hours I have worked on this than it's worth. And so we'll see. We'll see how the saga continues. So, my next piece, I found this, I believe I found this also on Etsy. It's another full coverage piece, and it's a Russian kit by Elisa. I'm going to call it Elisa because that's how you pronounce my name, only with an E. But it's this Tulips piece, and I love it. I love the colors in it. Reds and greens and blues they're my color. And I have since recently, within the last month, saw another stitcher finish the peonies piece that goes with this. As soon as I saw hers, I bought it. And so I'm hoping one day to have this done. Here I am on this. So, you know, I would say I'm about, I don't know. No, I'm not going to say what percentage because, you know, this is a paper chart. And we don't have that privilege with paper charts like we do with Pattern Keeper, but you know, I don't mind paper charts. I don't mind the highlighters, and sometimes it's nice because I'm working on a computer all day. I don't want to have to look at a tablet all night as well. So I really like this piece. This will definitely match my decor in my home, and we'll go from there. Let me take a sip of my liquid courage here. So, my next piece, this is a little kit I got from a girlfriend. When she found out that I was a stitcher, we have a craft store in Colorado that is a used craft store, and she found this for me and picked it up. And it's another little dimensions kit, and it's, what is this called? Dragonfly Duo? Yeah. And I thought it was cute, and I thought, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm never gonna stitch this. Never gonna stitch this. But then I was watching the Flosstuber Calico something. I cannot remember her name, but she's also in Colorado, and she had started this on dyed fabric. Like, that is an awesome idea. Stitching a kit. This blah beige Ada. Let's stitch it on a color. So I had this little piece of, it's kind of a periwinkle blue, and here I am with this piece. I wasn't getting very far on this when I decided that this is going to be my lunchtime stitching piece. So when I'm able to have a break from my job for lunch, surprise, you get a break from lunch, this is my piece. So during the hot summer days, I work in my basement, and it's freezing down here because the AC is just going and going and going. So I go out and I sit on my back patio. It's 100 degrees, 90 degrees, and try to warm up. And I take this with me on my back patio, listen to the birds, and watch Flosstube. So I'm hoping to have this done. This will be my next piece to have done. So, and my last piece I'm working on is a Thea Governor, I believe is how you pronounce her name. It's called Butterfly Honeysuckle. So same type of thing. Why have this beige here? And look, when you can see this, it's the same pattern on black. How pretty is that? It just pops off the fabric. It's so pretty. But after that tiger piece, not stitching that on black. That's not happening. So I had another dyed. Actually, I dyed this one myself. My first time hand dyeing fabric, and here's where I am now. So just making little progress. You know, I'm trying to do, I made up my own planner because, you know, I have so much craft paper and I have to use it somehow or another. So I made my own stitching journal, and my rotation was like one week birds in bloom, 1 week tiger, 1 week birds in bloom, and I would switch back and forth from there. And oh, hang on, I just finished. Let me grab 2 other pieces. Or hold on. I have finished 2 pieces this year. This is one of them. It's a blooming teapot. I got this as a kit from Hobby Lobby. Super, super cheap. Again, I dyed this Ada. And I just thought this would be so cute in a little girl's room. Instead of a burst sampler, just something sweet. So I finished this a couple of months ago, and I just think it's just a really sweet piece. And then the other one that I have finished this year is this one. This is also a Dimensions Gold kit, Paris Market, and I picked this up when I started stitching again, and I saw Andrea from I Heart Cross Stitch stitching this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's my style. I love this. And I kind of screwed up, and I added more French knots than what was really called for, because I'm crazy like that. So I added a few, because I wanted to add a little of the yellow that was up here. And then I took the idea from Andrea. She personalized this piece for, I think it was her aunt, and she put the year, I think, and something. So on mine, I kind of copied her, and you can't really tell it, but in there is my name. It says Elisa, established 21. So, and backstitching on Dimensions kits, I hate it. I hate backstitching. Backstitching sucks. French knots, I'm okay with, but backstitching, it's just a booger. And I'm not a fan of Dimensions kits, Ada, because I like bigger pieces than what they give you. So I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to do this again or stitch another piece on the fabric that they give. I'll use my own from my own stash. So those are my 2 pieces that I have finished this year. I'm hoping for 2 more. That butterfly one and the dragonfly. I don't think I'll finish any others because my others are mostly full coverage. I am currently in the midst of kitting up all the things for 2022 because I have learned, you know, I like to stitch what I want to, and I don't want to be constrained by what I've been told. And I'm not one of those crazy ladies or stitchers. I'm sorry, I keep saying I've got to learn to include everybody. I just can't confine myself to just a few, but I also don't have 50. You know, I kind of like to see a finish once in a while. So right now I am kitting up 3 Hades, a Carolyn Manning piece, and caterpillar, what is it called? Caterpillar cross stitch the Hello Pumpkin, and then another just small one. So that's me. This is my little channel. I hope you like this. I really love Flosstube. You know, it's nice to talk and see others who enjoy the same thing that you do. And that's what's so nice about this. Oh, I also meant to, I have a list of some of my favorite flosstubers. So, so just a few of them. I want to do a couple shout outs. Jemima, the rocking stitcher, she's got a little piece of my heart, because we chat back and forth, and we did a Zoom video together one time, and it was just so nice to get to talk to her and get her thoughts on things, and hear about her family. And Andrea from I Heart Cross Stitch, I just had a connection the first time I saw her, and we've chatted back and forth. Janita from Janita Stitches, also in the Netherlands. So I'm just so excited that these people are across the world from me, and they have the same interests and same goals as little old me. You know, how cool is that? Another Flosstuber I really like is Stitching Jewels. Her style isn't quite as much as what mine is, but I love how she shares her videos and her enthusiasm, and her little dog Binky. Oh my gosh, that dog is just the cutest thing. Pam from Pam's Crafty Corner, and I since I work at home, you know, when I'm not on a conference call, I will turn on her Coffee, Crime, and Crafts, and I will listen to that. And you know, she puts a lot of work into that and research, and they're really interesting stories. These people are crazy, you know, but there's so many crazy people out there. Another one that I really, you know, there's some out there who are searching for 1,000 subscribers. The Rose City Stitcher, I think her name is Pam. Oh, she's so sweet, and she's got a gamut of just different styles, and she's a school teacher, and you could tell that she really cares about the kids in her class. And you know, I'm really drawn to those types of people. And the last one, I think she's in Australia, is Animal Instinct. She's got some really cool stuff from different designers than I normally wouldn't choose, but that's just it. You might not choose that, but you can appreciate the work that they've put into their pieces. And so that's what I like about the Flosstube and sharing with others. You don't have to like the same thing. You don't have to stitch the same thing, but you can appreciate the time and effort that has been put into those pieces. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me, and we'll talk to you soon, Flosstube. Bye.